Good evening. This meeting was called for Wednesday, November 12th, 2025 at 7:30 PM at Borough Hall located at 77 Summit Hill Road, Spotswood, New Jersey, pursuant to the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4-8B. The public may choose to attend this meeting electronically via Zoom. This meeting was advertised on the Spotswood website and in the Home News Tribune.
Roll call, Councilman Larry Kramer is not here. Councilwoman Dawn Schwartz.
Here.
Councilman Ed Seeley.
Here.
Councilman Andrew Zaborni.
Here.
Council President Nicholas Legakis.
Here.
Mayor Rich O'Brien.
Here. Thank you. All right, we'll start tonight with the engineer's report. Ernie?
Good evening. We're looking for Kevin B. This evening. He's on vacation. For our November 10th, 2025 engineer's report, item 1, the 2023 NJDOT roadway improvements. This project is in the process of being closed out. The item 2, the 2024 NJDOT roadway improvements. The contract has been awarded to Discover Construction. A pre-construction meeting is scheduled for this Thursday for tomorrow. And we anticipate the contractor doing some work during the winter months, with the majority of the work to be completed in the spring. Item 3, our 2025 NJ road improvements. We have started the survey work for the project, and once that's completed, we will begin designing the roadway improvements. I would anticipate that being bid out sometime in the spring. Then 2026 NJ grant. We've submitted a grant application that includes Butterfly, Evergreen, and Rosedale. Item 5, the Manalapan Road Emergency Pump Station Repairs Pumping Services, Inc. has begun work this past week, and the project should take about 2 weeks. And then finally, item 6, Bullock Park Circle. We provided a proposal to the administration to do a topographic survey of the area where water sometimes causes a problem for the neighborhood. Once that survey is complete, we'll review administration and do some conceptual designs based on that survey. And that's it for the engineer's report.
Thank you. Any of the council members have any questions? Okay, thank you. All right, Melissa, we have some ordinances to read.
Yes. Ordinance 2025-14, this is for a second reading. Public hearing will be tonight and the adoption. An ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 205, Water and Sewer. Ordinance 2025-15, this is a first reading introduction. Public hearing is scheduled for December 15th, 2025. An ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Part 1 Administrative Legislation, Chapter 2 Administration of Government, Article 4 Mayor and Administrative Organization, Section 36 Cultural and Heritage Commission. Ordinance 2025-16, first reading introduction. Public hearing is scheduled for December 15th, 2025. An ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 199 Vehicles and Traffic, Article 2 Parking Regulations, Section 199-15 Parking on Grass Surfaces. Ordinance 2026-17, first reading, introduction. Public hearing scheduled for December 15th, 2025. An ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 140 Nuisances, Section 140-11, regulating e-bikes and lithium-ion batteries.
Thank you. And we also have resolutions under the consent agenda.
Resolution 2025-185, accepting the resignation of Josephine Tramatullo as Transportation Coordinator of the Division of Senior Services. Resolution 2025-186, resolution appointing Kimberly Zielinski as part-time Transportation Coordinator on the Division of Senior Services. Resolution 2025-187, resolution approving the appointment of Justin Sifan as a full member and Hunter Levy as a junior member of the Spotswood Fire Department pending successful completion of all requirements. Resolution 2025-188, accepting the resignation of Nicholas D. Esposito from the Department of Public Works as a water utility laborer. Resolution 2025-189, authorization to enter into an interlocal health services contract with Middlesex County. Resolution 2025-190, resolution authorizing the transfer and purchase of a 2009-20 Hallmark dual axle trailer from the Enterprise Hook and Ladder Company to the Department of Public Works. Resolution 2025-191, resolution granting permission for the dedication by rider of recycling tonnage grant funds pursuant to NJSA 48:4-39. Resolution 2025-192, resolution authorizing a contract with New Jersey Fire Equipment Company under New Jersey State Contract number 24-61850 for the purchase of AirPack X3 Pro self-contained breathing apparatus, SCBA, for the Borough of Spotswood Fire Department. Resolution 2025-193, resolution ratifying and confirming an emergency contract with Pumping Services, Inc. for repairs to the Manalapan Road Pump Station in the amount of $204,399.53. Resolution 2025-194, a resolution of Spotswood Borough authorizing the purchase of electricity supply services for public use on an online auction website. Resolution 2025-195, resolution authorizing a special emergency appropriation pursuant to NJSA 48:4-46 and NJSA 48:4-53 for the payment of legal settlements and insurance deductible costs. Resolution 2025-196, approval of the payment of bills. Resolution 2025-197, addendum to the payment of bills. Resolution 2025-198, resolution of the Borough Council of the Borough of Spotswood to provide for the transfer of year 2025 budget appropriations.
Thank you. Okay, make a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. The public comment portion of the Spotswood Borough Council meeting is to allow the public to bring to council's attention their concerns or comments in accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A, as well as Spotswood Borough Ordinances 2-18 and 2-19. Except upon consent of the council president, each person addressing the council in the case of the resolution shall limit their remarks to 3 minutes. In the case of an ordinance, shall limit their remarks to 5 minutes total for the meeting. No person shall direct any remark or question to any specific council member except by permission of the council president. Any council member through the council president may choose to answer a question, but they are not obligated to do so. All persons wishing to address the council shall do so from the podium or other location specified by the council president. Each person addressing the council must identify themselves by name and address. If said person is representing a business or organization, they shall further state whether their comments are their personal view or those of a group they represent. I do want to mention before anyone comes up, we will be tabling in the regular meeting ordinance 2025-16, which is first reading about the parking on grass surfaces. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Jeff Hager, 65 Herman Drive. First comment is on ordinance 2025-17. Thank you very much for the event.
Well, we obviously had to look at it and make it right.
I appreciate it. Second question is on resolution 2025-195. This is the special appropriation to cover $300,000 and some odd $100,000 worth of legal settlements. How is that actually paid for? Is it as added to next year's tax bills, or how do we fund that?
I'll ask. Shall I take it to that, please?
So what the special emergency does is that it defers it till next year. I'm having conversations with our bond counsel as to whether or not we can go out for bonding for those legal settlements. So there's certain provisions in the law that allows us to do such. Yeah, so me and bond counsel have been having ongoing discussions since September as to how exactly we can work that out.
So, if it's next year's taxes, the impact, how many tax points that is?
We haven't got that far. It would be added to next year so as it stands right now, it would be an addition to the levy, of $346,000 as a deferred charge. So we haven't gotten that far. Bond counsel and I have been having those discussions to see what we can do.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
Now the wrong stuff. I figured out October stuff.
I
I'm
just-
so unprepared, I can't even stand it. And then mortified.
Make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to adjourn the caucus meeting.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
That was work.
Well, as opposed to last month, which was another record.
Road trip.
Yeah. Okay, this meeting was called for Wednesday, November 12th, 2025 at 7:30 PM in Borough Hall located at 77 Summerhill Road, Spotswood, New Jersey, pursuant to the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4-8B. The public may choose to attend this meeting electronically via Zoom. This meeting was advertised on the Spotswood website and the Home News Tribune. Ask everybody to please stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Roll call. Councilman Larry Kramer is not here. Councilman Dawn Schwartz. Here. Councilman Ed Sealy.
Here.
Councilman Andrew Zaborni.
Here.
Council President Nicholas Legakis.
Here.
Mayor Rich O'Brien.
We have minutes to be approved from the October 20th caucus and regular meeting.
I'm gonna take a motion second, and this is gonna be followed by roll call.
Make a motion to approve the October 20th minutes for the caucus and regular meeting.
Second. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought he did, yeah, sorry.
Calling of the roll, council members, Schwartz,
Yes.
Sealy,
Yes.
Zaborni,
Yes.
Legakis.
Yes. Okay, I'd like to just turn it over to the mayor who'd like to make a statement.
Good evening, everyone. As mayor of the Borough of Spotswood, I must report to you a serious matter which occurred in mid-October 2025, which up until now, I was not at liberty to discuss due to a continuing investigation by the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office and the Spotswood Police Department. I also want to dispel any rumors circulating around town. On the morning of October 14, 2025, at approximately 10:30 a.m., I was advised of the theft of funds to the Spotswood Board of Education from the Borough of Spotswood, totaling approximately $4.8 million, which occurred in two separate wire transfers. One in mid-September 2025, and the second on October 10, 2025. I immediately advised our borough attorney, the Spotswood Police Department, the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, our insurance carrier, and spoke with the school superintendent and business administrator for the school district and the council president. The school district had learned of the theft at the same time. Both the borough and the Board of Education were spoofed by a third-party cyber criminal, which resulted in both the borough and Board of Ed believing they were dealing with each other when in fact they were not. Based upon the swift involvement of the MCCO and our borough attorney, we were able to retrieve the October 10, 2025 wire in full in the amount of $1,474,820.70, which was then promptly tendered to the Board of Ed. The whereabouts of the funds sent in the first wire from mid-September 2025 is currently being investigated by the MCPO. And I was informed that the MCPO has been able to retrieve approximately $233,000 from the first wire. Our borough attorney continues to be in constant communication with the MCPO, Board of Education, and the insurance carrier. We are working with the insurance carriers to cover the funds. In the interim, funds are available from the state of New Jersey to cover any shortfall to the Board of Education budget. And the borough will fully cooperate with the Board of Education to ensure that those funds are provided. We have been in contact with our state senator, Owen Henry, who, if needed, will facilitate the availability of those funds. In today's world, cybercrimes such as what occurred here are unfortunately commonplace, with the most recent targets often being public entities. We will continue an internal investigation in cooperation with the MCPO and our insurance carrier. And at such time as all the investigations are concluded, I will provide you with an update. We have already implemented additional procedures, both in our IT network and our internal processes, to prevent this from happening again. I want to assure all that the borough is on top of this matter and will continue to be so. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, Melissa, we have ordinance 2025-14, second reading.
Yes, ordinance 2025-14, this is the second reading, public hearing and adoption. This is an ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending chapter 205 water and sewer. I'll take a motion second, followed by roll call to open to the public hearing.
Make a motion to open to the public. Ordinance 2025-14, second reading.
Second.
Calling of the roll, council members, Schwartz.
Yes.
Sealy.
Yes.
Zaborni.
Yes.
Legakis.
Yes. Anybody have any questions about ordinance 2025-14?
Make a motion to close to the public for ordinance 2025-14.
Second?
Calling of the roll, council members, Schwartz.
Yes.
Sealy.
Yes.
Zaborni.
Yes.
Legakis.
Yes.
And now I'll take a motion second, followed by roll call to adopt ordinance 2025-14.
Make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-14 on its second reading.
Second?
Calling of the roll, council members, Schwartz.
Yes.
Sealy.
Yes.
Zaborni.
Yes.
Legakis.
Yes. Okay, we have ordinance 2025-15, first reading.
This is an ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Part 1, Administrative Legislation, Chapter 2, Administration of Government, Article 4, Mayor and Administrative Organization, Section 36, Cultural and Heritage Commission. No, no problem.
So we're gonna make a motion to adopt ordinance 20, not adopt, make a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-15 on its first reading.
Okay.
Second.
Calling of the roll, council members, Schwartz.
Yes.
Sealy.
Yes.
Zaborni.
Yes.
Legakis.
Yes. Okay, for ordinance 2025-16, we can make a motion to table ordinance 2025-16.
Second.
Calling of the roll, council members, Schwartz.
Yes.
Sealy.
Yes.
Zaborni.
Yes.
Legakis.
Yes. Okay, ordinance 2025-17, first reading.
Yes, I'll take a motion second, followed by roll call for the introduction for an ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending chapter 140 nuisances, section 140-11, regulating e-bikes and lithium-ion batteries.
Make a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-17, first reading.
Second.
Calling of the roll, council members, Schwartz.
Yes.
Yes.
Savorni.
Yes.
Legakis.
Yes. Okay, resolution under consent agenda.
Is there any member of the governing body that would like any of the resolutions pulled before you vote on them in unison? So. Should those be separate? So that we can hear from them first?
Is it separated? I apologize. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll take a motion second followed by roll call for resolutions 2025-185 through resolutions 2025-198.
Make a motion that we move resolutions 2025-185 to 2025-198.
Second.
Calling of the roll, council members, Schwartz.
Yes.
Seely.
Yes.
Savorni.
Yes.
Legakis.
Yes. So now we'll have a public hearing on the Spotswood urban renewal, notice of contemplated transfer. Make a motion to open to the public for the hearing on transfer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, gentlemen, please come on up.
Good evening, for the record, Mark Polycash, Sheriff Council for the order.
Zach Chick with Rockefeller Group, the applicant or owner.
So, it's like a brief presentation, maybe set the stage, and Mr. Chick for the transaction that we're talking about this evening.
Sure, good evening, council members. Again, Zach Chick with Spotswood Urban Renewal Entity, wholly owned by Rockefeller Group, who I'm vice president of, and kind of boots on the ground for this particular project for Rockefeller Group. We have started this project back in 2019. Previous administration, and we worked through obviously building it to what you see today at 85 Main Street. Unfortunately, we have not leased the building, even though we've had a TCO for about a year at this point. It's just kind of the way the market kind of turned while we were under construction. And at this point in time, we're looking to sell the building vacant. The buyer of the property is New Beam Real Estate, which is an investment arm for TIAA, the Teachers Insurance and Annuity Association. They handle about $1 trillion in different investment vehicles, with New Beam being one. New Beam Real Estate owns about $150 to $200 billion worth of real estate throughout the nation. So certainly a very capable manager, capable operator, and they will take over all the leasing and hopefully have a tenant in the building soon. As far as tenants that are in the hopper, so to speak, they do expect to lease the building, partially lease the building, about 200,000 square feet relatively soon. That deal is not inked yet. And you may recall from about a year and a half ago, we actually were very close to inking a deal, it just never got done, unfortunately, but they are at about the same position that we were in back then for about 200,000 square feet.
Can you tell us anything about the possible tenant?
So the company that would actually sign the lease would be a third-party logistics company. That third-party logistics company has another company, which is a nationally recognized company. We're under an NDA, so I can't disclose who the company is. It's a well-known 3PL. They're European-based, but they have a ton of operations in the United States. Their client behind them is a very well-known company as well. They sell power equipment. So at this particular facility, they would be distributing things like transformers, switch gears, high power equipment.
And do you know anything about the traffic in and out of the warehouse?
I don't know much about the traffic coming in and out. But being that it's large equipment that they'd be looking to store here, it wouldn't be something like a fulfillment center, which would have big trucks coming in, 18-wheelers in, and smaller, household delivery trucks going out. It wouldn't be anything like that. I would guess that it would be substantially less.
It's not outside of the zone, as far as we know, it's within the ambit of the current zone.
Certainly the TIS that was submitted, if anything is outside of that was submitted upon the development years ago, then it have to.
And do you know, is the, would it be possible for them to use the railway? Is that something that is a possibility or no?
It's not in their business plan right now. That's correct.
Council members, do you have any questions?
Will the railroad be utilized for any of this?
We don't believe it will, as of now, it's not part of it, no.
I have a question. So this resolution says that materials have been reviewed by Borough Council, determining that the proposed transfer is, does not adversely affect the redevelopment objectives. I have not been given anything. So what exactly does this paragraph of the resolution refer to?
Maybe it's just that.
I can respond to that. Yeah, I can respond to that. So there are actually two agreements that were executed a number of years ago with respect to not even Rockefeller, but its predecessor. One of them was a redevelopment agreement, and the second one was a financial agreement. Under Article section, Article 7, assignment and or assumption, section 7.01, there are certain preconditions to any transfer which must be satisfied. I'll just read them. Let me just read it verbatim. It is understood and I'm quoting, it is understood and agreed that the borough on written application by the redeveloper will consent to a sale of the project or a portion thereof and the transfer of this financial agreement as pertaining to the project or the corresponding portion of the project as applicable to another redeveloper, provided that A, the transferee redeveloper shall have demonstrated to the reasonable satisfaction of the borough that it possesses the experience and capitalization necessary to complete and or operate the project or relevant portion thereof, which determination shall not be unreasonably withheld or delayed. B, the transferee redeveloper does not own any other project subject to long-term tax exemption at the time of transfer. C, the transferee redeveloper is formed and eligible to operate under the exemption law. D, the redeveloper is not then in default beyond all applicable notice, cure, or grace periods under this financial agreement or in violation of applicable law. And E, the redeveloper's obligations under this financial agreement are fully assumed by the transferee redeveloper. So just to give you some context here, the redevelopment agreement is still in full force and effect. That's not being changed. That's going to stay here forever in perpetuity with respect to this property. Now, the applicant's attorney did send me a letter stating that he has satisfied some of these requirements. Really, I guess the only one that you will have to make a determination tonight is whether they demonstrated to you that it possesses the experience and capitalization necessary to complete and or operate the project. They've indicated in correspondence to me today that they've satisfied section B, which is that they don't own any other project subject to long-term tax exemption at the time of transfer. They've also demonstrated in a correspondence to me, and they've represented that they're formed and eligible to operate under the exemption law. D, that they're not in default, which they're not. And E, that they have agreed to assume all of the financial obligations under this financial agreement. So they made their presentation. I don't know if you want to go into a little bit more detail about Nuveen if you want. Or have
Yeah,
any
I'm sorry. So you have been focusing on the financial agreement.
Correct.
I would like to focus on the redevelopment objective portion of it, because you didn't say, I guess what I'm asking is Nuveen Nuveen is a company that not only does commercial, but does mixed use.
Mhm.
So my concern is what happens when they purchase this property and decide they can't rent it out as commercial and they want to go after it as mixed use?
Well, the redevelopment agreement is not being amended this evening.
Okay,
If they decide that they need an amendment to the redevelopment agreement, they will come back before the council and they will make their presentation. That could entail changes in zoning perhaps, but as we sit here this evening, that redevelopment agreement is not being changed. Whatever they agree to in there, within the parameters of the zoning that was provided in that redevelopment zone, they will have to comply. From what I gather, this particular user falls within that category. I don't think it's contrary to the zoning.
I can say with certainty that they are buying it for the existing use, they're not buying it as part of a redevelopment project.
Okay. And you have that in writing.
Are you going to discuss, what software?
I'm not.
That is generally public,
The deed would be for. Mostly by the end of the year, then it would be public and. Certainly. But I cannot.
It is transaction.
Yeah, you haven't closed on this yet.
So,
Well, this is actually a condition.
What is the decision they haven't made it?
No, I think they've met all the conditions. I mean, I think the only one really that the council has to determine is whether you're satisfied that you need has the experience and the capitalization to do it.
It's a warehouse facility, it's. They asked the question before, they have no plan of changing into something else, so that's really the answer we're looking at. I'm good, thank you.
The only thing it's everything was paid up, right, for taxes and everything's up to par and date and all, yep, I'm satisfied.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, well, so I open up to the public, council president, if any member of the public has any comments, and then we'll have to take action on this.
Okay, does anybody have any questions from the public? Yes.
Doug Hager, 65 Herman Drive. On the transfer. Council President, if I may, this might go over towards the municipal attorney. Are these transfers sometimes preconditioned upon the transfer retaining financial responsibility if there's a default on payment over a certain period of time by the transferee?
Yeah, they, Mr. Hager, they assume all of the obligations of the prior financial agreement, so.
No, you do not understand my
Are
question.
you talking about some type of predecessor guarantee?
Predecessor guarantee is what I'm asking about.
Okay, I don't think I could answer that question without looking at the entire financial agreement.
Isn't that something we might be interested in having in this financial agreement?
Yeah, I didn't prepare it. It was prepared a number of years ago. If you have any other questions, I can look at it right now and I'll give you that answer.
Even if it's not in the agreement, right, isn't it something that could be, at this point, added to the agreement? Based on the transferor assuming that responsibility for X period of time to guarantee the payments to the borough if there's a default by the buyer of this property.
Well, if the council approves this, then the new owner is going to stand in the shoes of the prior owner. And I would doubt that there's any recourse to go after an entity that sold the property.
Unless there's a,
And I would doubt that that language was in the financial agreement.
I would not think it would have been in the
Yeah,
original.
okay.
But would it not be in the borough's best interest to add that type of language now as a precondition for the approval of the transfer for a period of time?
Now, that's something I would have to discuss with obviously with Rockefeller and with the new owner.
Otherwise, it's a big step, and it may affect the close. I understand that also.
Mhm.
I'm just asking the question. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So given that stipulation, can you vote on it tonight or not?
Well, I think the answer I'm going to get, having been an attorney for 42 years, is that the applicant probably would not agree to that. Am I correct?
Well,
I don't have to speculate.
I'd love to understand what the concern is directly and maybe a little bit more acutely, so perhaps I can address it.
Well, I think what Mr. Hager is asking, and again, I would doubt that this was not in the original financial agreement, nor would it ever. Essentially, what he's asking is whether or not the Rockefeller Group would agree to guarantee the obligations under the financial agreement. Notwithstanding the fact that they're selling this property to Nuveen and TIAA.
The financial agreement runs with the land. so,
Correct.
We would not be amenable to that. I can say though, that Nuveen certainly has done their due diligence on us without just taking our word for essentially anything, right? So they have to go to the town and make sure that we are in compliance at the time of closing with the redevelopment agreement, taxes, the financial agreement, anything else that could be an issue, close.
Yeah, I understand Mr. Hager's comment. It would be extraordinary to have that provision in any type of contract or any type of financial agreement or any.
It's not something we can do.
No, I agree.
You hear the concern and
I
the
mean,
concept, but it's really not something.
let me give the scenario. That would be like Larry Sachs selling his house to another purchaser. And Larry Sachs guaranteeing that if the purchaser of my home decides not to pay real estate taxes or insurance or some type of other lienable obligation, that I would be responsible for that. That would never happen. So I understand, I asked the question, I understand the position, and I would probably give the same answer if I was in your shoes, so. And by the way, just to assuage the public, this particular, if in fact this is agreed upon and you consent to this transfer, the financial agreement has not changed, it's only being assigned. We have rights and obligations and certain enforcement measures within that financial agreement to impose liability on whoever happens to own the property.
And the only reason, so what Mr. Hager is trying to infer is if for some reason Nuveen went bankrupt and wasn't able to pay, that what would, in that scenario, okay, what would happen? Just out of curiosity, we would lose our pilot, we would lose. The property would come back, like, what would happen?
Well, if they defaulted under their financial agreement, by the way, the only financial agreements they have are to pay the pilot monies. And also to pay an enhanced fee once they get tenants in this facility. We have rights to enforce. If it's not paid, we would file a lawsuit, we would get a judgment against them. We would seize other, if, first of all, if it's a large entity, there's other sources of funding to collect from. If they file a bankruptcy, they certainly can file a bankruptcy, but that's probably a pretty extraordinary measure on this project. First of all, we hope that they're able to rent this facility out, because then they have a steady cash flow. I mean, Rockefeller has owned this now for a year and a half.
Well, it's been built for about a year and a half.
A year and a half.
It's since 2020.
And you've been paying the pilot monies since earlier this year, is that correct?
Correct.
They don't have a tenant and they're still paying the pilot funds. So I think they're rather sizable. And I can't account for every possible scenario. And I can't even comment on that because these agreements was prepared before I became borough attorney. But in reviewing them, I will state to the council and to the public that they are standard agreements. I appreciate Mr. Hayden's comment, but it's taking it to somewhat of a extraordinary extreme.
Property's being tested, I mean, they tried to sell it last year, they're trying to sell it this year, how do we know that Nuveen isn't gonna wanna sell it next year, like, it's just, it's.
It's quite possible.
Could I, you mind if I address?
Absolutely.
So Councilman, you're absolutely right. We're here making the same presentation for BDO, Dental Green to purchase the property. That purchase of the property in late 2024, almost to the day, a year ago. Was contingent upon the lease getting signed with a company called Allen Distribution. Allen Distribution was a third-party logistics company that was going to use the rail to import and export product or distribute product for an alcohol distributor. People here probably have it in their fridge at home. That stock dropped about 2 percentage points right before we signed that lease. Therefore, because that sale was contingent upon the lease and that, alcohol distributor went away because of stock issues, that's why the deal did not come to fruition. This deal on the sale is not subject to leases. The conditions, there are virtually no conditions left. Besides some minor due diligence stuff that is just normal course of business.
So when this sale goes through, you guys are gone. Like, you're done. This is not like a sub company of you.
No, not at all.
Anyone else?
Thank
you.
Are we allowed to?
Yes, yeah.
Come back up? Okay, Jennifer Sandmark out of the 14 Nicholas Court. I'm a little nervous, sorry. I have a quick question about this, I'm getting one for you guys, I guess. When the sale goes through and you have a new company coming in, just like when we purchase a house, we have to have a credit score and everything. Is that something that you guys are gonna take into account, or are you just selling it to somebody and we don't get a say in who's purchasing it? Like, what if, no offense, I'm sure the people you're selling to are great, but what if they're just a sham of a company? What if they do, like you said, go bankrupt? And now we are stuck with this Daryl built.
Sure.
Good morning.
Okay.
Let the attorney in.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for the applicant, but, I know Nuveen is wholly owned by TIAA CREF. Can you explain, maybe come on up, Zach, and explain
Yeah,
who TIAA CREF is?
Yes. I did in mine. Everybody talks.
Sorry about that. So TIA is the Teachers Insurance and Annuity something, association. They manage about $1 trillion worth of basically 401ks for teachers, firefighters, policemen, etc. And Nuveen Real Estate is an investment arm underneath TIAA. So that's where TIAA gets that's where Nuveen gets their money, is from TIAA, which is obviously a big balance sheet behind them. And Nuveen Real Estate is in charge of investing in different real estate, I believe nationally, it might be internationally, but they own about 150 to 200 billion nationally in the United States. A lot of it is industrial. They are, I hate to say this, but much more well equipped to manage a building long term than Rockefeller Group is. Because of the amount of assets they own and the machine that they are.
And I would have to agree with that. I've done that research. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, that part I get, yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions from the public? Make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. So now we can make a
You
motion.
can you can take action to approve the assignment of this financial agreement.
So we're just basically approving the resolution.
Well, first, we're gonna vote on approving the act, you're gonna take action, and then what we'll do is you'll vote on the resolution after that. But you take action first, if someone makes a motion one way or the other, not telling you what to do. Take action one way or the other as to whether or not you can muscle through it.
So, okay, so we're gonna make a motion to adopt resolution, no, we're gonna make a motion
You're gonna make a
to.
motion to either approve or deny the transfer of this financial agreement to this new entity.
That's not what this does?
No, the resolution will be next.
So I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of Spotswood Urban Renewal to Nuveen
Yes, and the financial agreement associated with that.
and the financial agreement associated with that. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna take roll call. Council members Schwartz.
Yes.
Sealy.
Yes.
Zaborni.
Yes.
Legakis.
Yes. Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-199.
Second.
Calling of the roll, council members Schwartz.
Yes.
Sealy.
Yes.
Zaborni.
Yes.
Legakis.
Yes. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate your time.
Take care.
At this time, I will open it up to the council members, if they have any comments that they would like to report on. Sure, we'll start with you.
Evening, everybody. First of all, let me, say, thank you to Councilman Sealy for including me on his Veterans Day lunch yesterday. I was honored, enough to be able to make cookies and then actually stay and serve some of our veterans, so I very much enjoyed my time there. I inadvertently did not announce our October Spotswood Senior of the Month, so I apologize for that. Our Spotswood Senior of the Month for October was Marge Droz. She is a lifelong Spotswood resident and part of her 46-year career as a registered nurse and family nurse practitioner. She worked in a variety of settings, including education, medical, surgical, home care, hospice, telemetry, and intensive care. She recently retired from her full-time role at St. Peter's University Hospital as Director of Community Health. In 1991, she successfully co-chaired a project to raise funding, and over 5 days, along with hundreds of community volunteers, built a new playground behind Appleby School. She is a designated honorary lifetime member of the PTA for her volunteer services in the schools, and she was elected to the Spotswood Board of Education, where she served as president for a year and as a member for 3 terms. She also was elected to 3 terms as a member of the Spotswood Borough Council, where she served for president for a year. In 2005, she founded the Spotswood Education Foundation, providing funding for teacher grants to implement innovative programs in the classroom. And she currently serves as the secretary on the board of trustees for that organization. And since 2005, they have raised over $165,000 in funding and awarded 224 grants to Spotswood teachers for those programs. So we thank her for her service to her community, and she is definitely a big deal. And our November Senior of the Month, Mr. Chuck Hager, congratulations for November. A lifelong Spotswood resident and pillar of the community, whose decades of service have a lasting impact on our town. A longtime member of the Cultural and Heritage Commission, he played a key role in planning Spotswood's 100th anniversary celebration in 2008, and is a beloved docent for the trolley car tours. His passion for his local history has taken many forms, including guest lectures at Appleby School, where students learn about the Spotswood's role in the Underground Railroad, and at each fall at Oktoberfest, where he shares stories and encourages others to get involved in preserving Spotswood's heritage. His commitment to public service extends to the government as well. As a former elected member of our town council, Chuck continues to attend monthly meetings, stay engaged in town affairs, and offering a steady voice of experience. In the realm of recreation, he has led the Spotswood Recreation's Adult Volleyball League for over 40 years and has coached youth soccer, participated in community walkathons, and inspired generations to stay active and connected. At the Reformed Church of Spotswood, he serves as a cemetery director, an elder, and a chair of the financial committee. He's chronicled the church's history, organized cherished ham dinners, and is always ready to lend a hand, whether it's an annual cleanup day or a random moment of need. Politically active and civically minded, Chuck serves as the committeeman for District 2 and as a municipal chairman, helping to ensure every voice is heard and every vote counts. So thank you, Chuck, here for being kind of a big deal here in Spotswood for November. Congratulations. For our library, please be aware that the library will close at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, November 26th, and will be closed through Thanksgiving weekend and through the holiday and the weekend. They'll open again on Monday, December 1st at 10 a.m. They are hosting an embroidery workshop on Tuesday, November 18th at 10:30 a.m. And they will be hosting a sensory play for little ones with exploration stations on Wednesday, November 19th at 11 a.m. Registration is required for both of those events. And our Division of Senior Services is having an autumn party. I don't have a date for that.
Friday.
Where are you? Where are you? Thank you. Friday. The cost is $15 per person. Money is due when you sign up, so please register for that. The Friends of the Spotswood Seniors will be holding a fundraising bake sale on Monday, November 24th. At 10 a.m. Bring something or buy something or do both. The Nimble Fingers Crochet and Knitting Group will be holding a sale of homemade items on Tuesday, December 2nd. And the Young at Heart Chorus will be performing on Thursday, December 4th from 6 to 8 at the Spotswood Senior Center. And please sign up for that event as well. And I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and we'll see you in December.
Thank you very much, Councilman Zawadi.
Thank you. So, first, thank you to all our veterans and families and sacrifices. Happy Veterans Day. I hope everyone had a relaxing day. DPW, if you're still looking for some bags, they have about 7 pallets of bags left until they run out. So check them out during those hours. They're also going to be out and about in the town setting up some holiday decorating coming up. So certainly look for those as well as the summer's right around the corner. Next Board of Ed meeting will be Tuesday, November 18th, 7 p.m. at the High School Media Center. Please all are welcome. Engineers report, as we heard earlier. Thank you so much, Ernie. It was good to see you. Planning Board next meeting will be November 18th also here in the courtroom at 7:30 p.m. on November 18th next week. And remember all those that during the season of our holidays here, visit the shop at St. Peter's, and Alice's Cup is really in need. If you have the opportunity and chance to assist, please do. And most important, just as well, happy Thanksgiving to you, your family and friends. Everyone have a relaxing holiday and best wishes to all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Sealer.
Much shorter than normal. And I do not have a rec report this evening because rec is meeting right now. Can't be two places at once. However, I do have some news that I just got in today from the mayor. The Middlesex County is getting ready to start a lower Raritan Middlesex County Water Resources Association. Oh, the mic, bring the mic up, okay.
Thank you, my friend.
Are we good now?
Yeah.
All right.
Where we go?
Do one more time. Lower Raritan Middlesex County Water Resources Association. It's 9 meetings a year. The mayor just went over this with me this evening. I'm just gonna check the dates and I'm probably gonna be the liaison for the town to go to these meetings.
Cool.
It's about water quality control as well as probably flooding. So that's news, finally. Grant alerts. We've gotten a couple grant applications recently or opportunities, and I've discussed it with Fred Carr. We gotta do a little more research on them because they're some are probably a little out of our reach. And some we're not really sure whether or not we're gonna go for them at this time, but we still got research to do on them. That's about it for grants. There are grants basically dealing with recreation. League of Municipalities next week. I'm planning on attending. When I attend, I'll be attending classes. These classes, I'll be learning more about grants and grant companies, different opportunities to look at another grant resource. As well as I will be meeting with League of Municipalities lawyer to discuss forms of government, how we do it. When I come back from that meeting, our December meeting, I'll have a full report for everybody, let you know what I did, what happened, what transpired. And that you know your money was well spent. Other than that, I've really got nothing else. Thank you for helping with the Veterans Affairs Councilman Works. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Try to remember to be thankful for what you got. The fun, you don't have nothing. Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you, Council President. Good evening again, everyone. I want to thank all the veterans present and in our township for your service. I had the privilege of attending a couple of Veterans Day ceremonies this week, one at the senior center, where the young part of chorus just sang so beautifully. And then again today over at Appleby School, and I'm pleased that our school superintendent, Mr. Jeff Visca, and our Board of Education President, Dan Lennon, are here tonight. Thanks, guys. It was a nice ceremony at Fred Appleby. It's amazing to watch a gaggle of fifth graders freeze and sing at the same time. It's pretty cool. I want to thank our Borough Clerk and her able assistant, Anthony, so Melissa Hallerman and Anthony Ventron, for their work in pulling off an election that went pretty well. With the possible exception of trying to free some people over at the VFW. But once we got the code to the thermostat, we really addressed that. And if you have some time between now and the end of the year, I would urge you to speak to Anthony privately about his experiences that day and his visit to various parts of the facility. It's a really fun story. So I urge you to do that. And I echo the sentiments here. I wish everyone happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate the opportunity to be an American and to be thankful for all the blessings we've been given. And I particularly appreciate the chance to be the 18th mayor in the history of Spotswood.
There you go.
So thank you very much. Rich Duty, our risk manager from Pinnacle, is also here tonight. So we do have the benefit of some really cool guests. Thank you for your attention tonight. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. Sean, did you have anything to report? Thank you. Melissa, did you have a clerk's report?
I do. Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to thank the clerk's office team for all of their hard work on election night. And also to our poll workers who keep all of our poll locations running smoothly, effectively, and with the tons of positivity. I also will be attending the league on a professional front next week, where I hope to sharpen my skills to make myself the best possible clerk ever. And last but certainly not least, I wanted to congratulate my assistant clerk, Anthony, for passing his first class. Congratulations, Anthony. And then, of course, happy Thanksgiving to you and all of your families. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Anthony. Just a couple of quick notes. Again, I echo everybody's sentiments. Thank you to our veterans and all that they have done for us in their service. Unfortunately, it looks like the chief and Jose had to run out on a call. I hope everything is okay and everyone is safe. But the Spotswood Fire Department, just want to repeat from last month, is looking for new members to join. Full members can start at the age of 18, and junior members can join starting at age 16. There is no previous experience required, and all training and equipment is paid for by the department. You also do not have to live in the town to join. Visit their website to find out more information or to begin the application process at spotswoodfire.org. Also, the Spotswood Fire Department created a new scholarship fund, and in the memory of Spotswood Fire Department Second Lieutenant R.J. Oros, this scholarship is intended for students who are not seeking to attend a traditional 2- or 4-year college, but to those looking to get into emergency services, the military, or trade schools. In order to fund the scholarship, the department is selling commemorative challenge coins for $20 each. Anyone looking to support the scholarship can purchase a coin from Chief Hager or reach out to them via email or social media. Just also wanted to mention the borough tree lighting is December 6th, since we will not have a meeting prior to that date. Just wanted to put that out there. I believe 4 p.m. start. 4 p.m. start. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thank you. This time I'd like to make a motion to open to the public.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. At this time, you can come up and talk about anything that you'd like to talk about.
Nancy Friedel, 34 Colonia Street. I'd like to thank the residents who are supporting Spotswood TNR with their donations I've been receiving, and I appreciate and thankful. I also like to extend my appreciation to Eileen Weingart-Lizina, as she keeps you informed with humor and knowledge on any information to educate you. I like to mention that I am aware we have cats roaming, But unfortunately, unless I am contacted by, my hands are tied. I don't understand when I get contacted that people don't follow up after I tell them the process. The main thing I do say is that the cat has to be around constantly to trap. It's very frustrating that I know they are out there being fed, but why don't they complete it by having them fixed? Because the numbers do multiply. We have to stop the cycle before it gets to that degree. Contact me or Eileen with the locality so I can TNR the cat and the cycle stops there. You feed them, as we say, we fix them. It takes a village.
Thank you.
Mayor O'Brien, the statement that you read earlier, will that appear anywhere on the?
It's posted on the website as of 8 p.m.
Okay.
It'll be on our social media, and if you'd like a copy, see the clip.
Okay. Do we have any idea who the culprits are?
Not really at liberty to discuss that. That's something that you could direct to the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office. I know there's no indication that anyone internal to the two entities was involved.
Currently internal.
I have no indication that anyone involved in either of the two entities was a party to.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, Joe Schwartz, 344 Crescent Avenue, and it's on the same topic. So this started, I'm a little scattered right now, just the first time hearing about this, but it kind of clarifies some statements that Mr. Bisco made yesterday, talking about, like, you know, increases in health insurance and why the budget, all of our expenditures in the school district are frozen. Like, no, any money that wasn't spent is frozen right now, and now I get a better picture as to exactly why that's happening. So just to clarify. So. We got. The municipal administration got contacted. That the Board of Education was requesting money. We sent the money. But it wasn't actually going to the Board of Education, without disclosing any details or parties or any of that sort of stuff. Is that the basic idea, that we thought we were sending money to the Board of Education's accounts, but they didn't actually get that?
I'm gonna direct the question to our borough attorney, so I don't
let me.
upset the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office.
Yeah, I don't want to disclose any details, but I'm just trying to, because, you know,
And again, I don't want to get into great detail because there still is an ongoing investigation by the county prosecutor. But suffice it to say, the municipality thought it was dealing with the Board of Education when they received these emails, and vice versa. So funds were wired out by the municipality to an account that the municipality believed was the Board of Education. For lack of, again, it's a term that I'm familiar with, but I'm more familiar with it now, called spoofing.
I know.
You know,
I've
exactly.
fully heard of spoofing is, not everybody might be, but I'm going to explain it in a minute because it happens to me.
Yeah, so the borough was spoofed and the Board of Education was spoofed.
Okay, so we didn't realize that the account numbers didn't match the account numbers that we've always sent money to.
In the past, there had been checks that were drawn. I believe that there had been one earlier wire this year that the Board of Education did receive.
So the reason why I'm asking this is that about 4 or 5 years ago, I was in my room after school, I'm a teacher at the high school. And I got a phone call from our payroll coordinator. And she said, I'm just calling to authorize that the change in your banking account information that you requested is authentic. And I said, no, I said, that's not me. And she said, okay, I just want to make sure I always make a phone call when this sort of thing happens. So that 10-second phone call that I had with her saved my butt, because otherwise I would never have been aware of it. Whose job was it to make the 10-second phone call?
It's not a question I can answer from the ongoing
Right,
investigation.
I'm making a general question, that 10-second phone call would have saved us a lot of grief, and that. Because spoofing is pretty common, faking identities is pretty common, it's a 16-year-old kid sitting in front of a computer in his mom's basement drinking Mountain Dew, and that's how stupid that sounds. So it could happen to anybody, it happened to me, I know a lot better now, I take a lot of precautions, and I don't have the big fancy financial, degrees to understand that way, so I'm just putting that out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chuck Hager, 65 Fern Drive. First question, is not on that topic, but I do have some questions on that topic. First question, have we received anything in reference to the water survey in reference to us moving?
We got the first. Remington. It doesn't seem to work, but it'll work next. We got the first report from Remington and Vernon this afternoon. Mr. Carr and myself briefly discussed it, haven't had a chance to read it yet. Once we get an opportunity to go through that, hopefully by the next meeting, we'll be able to come back with some thoughts as to what we learned.
I'd very much like to see us getting to the point of water independence. On the topic of the transfer, listening to the mayor's statement, it sounds as if there's still $3.1 million, which is outstanding. I understand also we have insurance, borough officials are bonded. Mr. Carr, what is the amount of your bond?
Would you like me to speak to that, Mr. Carr?
Go ahead.
Okay, again, I'm Rich Duthie.
Come up to the mic, please.
Okay, I'm coming up to the mic.
Calm down.
I'm the pain in the butt.
No, not at all.
Comes to microphone.
Not at all. Hi, good evening, I'm Rich Duthie from Clinical Solutions.
Speak into the mic, so I hear you.
You guys are starting to get paid. Is that okay? Is that better? You sure now? Okay, Rich Duthie, Clinical Risk Solutions, on the risk management, for lack of a better explanation, on the insurance guy. So it's not a bonding item, it is an item that's better covered, coverage can be addressed under the cyber crime policy. So that's where the limits reside, okay? So that's where we've reported the claim and where we will ultimately pursue coverage. And it's likely that the Board of Ed is doing the same thing.
Can I ask what the borough limit is on the cyber crime?
That's a great question, and it depends how it gets classified. And we don't have a coverage position from the joint insurance fund yet, because they still await detail and data from the Board of Ed and from the municipality. So it's yet to be determined. This process.
It's still moving.
I very much understand this
Yeah.
process.
Yes.
And not only using that particular provision, can we not also use various other provisions within the insurance policy if the limitations on those limits in the area of cybercrime are not sufficient to cover the full $3.1 million that's missing?
I can assure you as the advocate for the claim that we will pursue all avenues for all policies that exist. I don't know if that answers you. For now, I'll have more details.
You don't have an answer right now. That's your answer.
Because it has yet to be thoroughly submitted and hasn't been completely reviewed by the claim adjusters. It's a process. Okay, thank you. Can I go now? Thank you. Thank you, Rick.
You bet. But I do have another question in reference to the mayor's statement. The coverage by the state of New Jersey, are they going to loan us the funds, or are they going to make good on the shortage?
Mr. Sachs reached out to our legislators pretty
Yes.
much at the inception of the event. There's different I guess, lots of money that might be available. I don't know if it would be in the form of grants, low interest loans. We haven't advanced to that point. Our concern from the beginning has been, how do we make this right? How do we get the money in the hands of the school district, which needs it to operate? So I don't have a definitive answer for that. Is there anything you could add, Larry?
Nothing new to report, Mayor, but again, and just to back up what the mayor said, I mean, the following day after I found out about this, I did contact Senator Henry, who is obviously our state senator, and he assured us that whatever assistance can be provided, he will make sure that he facilitates that. There are, and it's true, there are several funds available. One of those funds may require the Board of Education to apply for, because it's really funding that's due them, but certainly the municipality will cooperate. My understanding is that if there is a loan, it's a low interest loan. I think the general perception of the state is they don't want to see a municipality or a school district have a financial burden or a financial issue, that will ultimately affect the taxpayers.
Now, certainly I was questioning earlier, the $350,000 special assessment.
Yeah.
This would be a $3.1 million special assessment, which would be a tremendous tax impact on the people in Spotswood.
And as well, just so you know, Chuck, this has happened before in Middlesex County. I'm not at liberty to tell you the town, but I was advised that it has happened in Middlesex County. It's happened throughout the state. It's just the way of the world.
Culprits?
Oh, well, we don't know who the culprit is, unfortunately. And it's probably not the same culprit.
On a completely different issue, going to the election, Melissa, you and Anthony, thank you very much. You ran a very smooth but chilling the VFW election. We are keeping the heat on in that building, and I'm glad we finally figured it out before the cold weather set in, so that just making sure that the heat is on there, that's a good thing. And my thank you to Councilman Saborni for the nomination as seen. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
And after a long time to meet you guys, but. Dan Lennon, Spotswood Board of Education President. I just want to thank Mayor O'Brien on addressing the issue. We will be addressing it as well at our meeting next week on Tuesday, the 18th. Obviously, not much we can say as it is an ongoing investigation. I do want to recognize though our payroll clerk, Stephanie Falsetta, who her quick actions after the second wire transfer, and alerting Jeff and Kim Cahill to it as well, and then working with the borough did lead to us being able to recoup that money. So I'm very grateful to her for that, as well as to Mayor O'Brien and the council for continuing to work so closely with us and work with Jeff and the communication back and forth to get this resolved as quickly as possible. So thank you. A couple of the Board of Education notes. After the well-run election, temperature was perfect in the Knights of Columbus on Crescent, so we'll tell you. After the election, there is still one Board of Education seat open. We are in contact with the New Jersey School Boards Association now on the steps of the next process. We will be conducting a meeting in December to interview prospective board candidates. Once we have the dates and everything, we'll advertise that publicly. We'll get that out there. Once the candidate is chosen, they will then be sworn in on January 6th, which will be our reorganization meeting. So that we can then start the year with the full Board of Education. And then one more thing, on November 26th, the night before Thanksgiving, we will be hosting at the Spotswood High School football stadium the E4M games to fund the E4M scholarship. This is a scholarship awarded in memory of Matthew Carlson, who was a member of the class of 2025, who tragically passed away a few years ago. His family now does a scholarship fund to give out to a senior every year, or senior awards. So it's a poignant but very, very great and positive night. Our kids are coming out to play football, soccer on the field. The snack bar will be open. We'll be selling a lot of hot chocolate, I'm sure. So if you are able to come out there and support and join us that night before Thanksgiving, come to the snack stands, you don't have to cook. And all the proceeds then again go to the scholarship fund. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question?
That suppose.
No,
You don't say you won't get there.
I'm just curious, the budget has been frozen on your end?
Jeff? I'm a volunteer. He did this.
Yeah, fiscal superintendent, the budget is frozen not for this. We have, as everyone is experiencing in the state of New Jersey, an increase in healthcare costs. Our healthcare premiums went up 31% starting January 1st. That's just the nature of the healthcare industry that we have today. So we have to figure out how we're going to tighten our belt to cover the 31% of increased costs that were kind of laid upon us when we got news in late August from our broker that, again, the plan that we have is set to expire. We are going to pay 38% increase in 6 months. And after throwing up in our mouths many times, we pleaded and we were going to be forced to switch our benefits package to go into the state health benefits plan, which we really didn't want to do. But after some negotiating and some pleading, we were very fortunate that we stayed with our current provider. It's the last thing we want to do was switch providers. And they gave us a year freeze, but with that 31% increase. So our budgets are frozen. I mean, we're still operating, we're still doing professional development, we're still doing things for children. It's just any ancillary stuff that is not in the basis of helping students, we're not doing. So we just have to really, everyone's belts need to be super, super tight. We're going to continue to operate as normal. We're going to still give the students in Spotswood the education that they need. We're still going to spend money on students, on programs, on field trips. So the students will have no affect. Staff going for professional development, staff doing some things that aren't necessarily part of their job, and I guess luxury items. Those are things that we're going to look into tightening. Facilities, outsourcing things. Those costs that we have to be a little bit tight on, and it's just the unfortunate nature of healthcare. So again, we'll be fine. It's something that we are managing well, but we just had to, we talked to the high school yesterday, and we're going to go to all the schools and just saying, hey guys, you just need to, again, tighten the belts a little bit. We should be fine. I don't foresee any tragic cuts, but we just have to make, every dollar that we spend, we have to think about it. It's just going to benefit.
So everything that you're doing with the budget right now has nothing to do with this loss?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. And again, just to echo, Dan, I appreciate you guys' support on it. This is, this affects everyone in the community, so, which affects us. So we're just here to support and get through this. And, we're, as Spotswood Borough is putting plans in place, we're doing the same thing to ensure that these things don't happen. And it's not common. My district 4 years ago was a victim. So, and schools, municipalities, they don't have the budgets like AT&T's and Oracle's, so they're easy targets for these nefarious people. So.
And your employees, have they been, what was it called? Whatever, spoofed? So how have you verified that the employees are safe
It was
as well?
verified, and we're still going through the process of it. The one thing that before we do anything is making sure that no personal information was touched, and there is zero evidence that was. The only evidence that we have is, 2 emails were affected. No other person in the district was affected by this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will say that, in the immediate aftermath, Jeff and I spoke, we did hire an outside company, a third party to come in. Do a full cybersecurity audit of the district computers, to make sure that there was no incursion, nothing left behind, anything to make sure our teachers and all of our staff members. And student information was safe, and the report we got was that we are clear. So I don't know if it's the official report yet. Larry probably told me I shouldn't say that. I'm not honest, it's not fair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Glad to see you back safe.
Yes, thank you. First, I'm coming to you as Chris Sager, Borough resident, 35 Weaver Road. I apologize if this was addressed with the presentation earlier. 85 Main Street, with that sale, I believe right now, right, it's under a pilot program, if I'm not mistaken, right? Does that carry over to the?
Yes.
Yeah, so you change the page. Excellent, okay, thank you. I can switch gears, Chris Sager coming to now the Borough Fire Chief. I want to start off with a thank you. Right, we started off this year, I expressed some concern over what we thought was going to be a impact to our budget, right? We had some cuts introduced into the operating budget, and took some negotiating, took a lot of work by everybody on dais to assure us that we were getting back to where we were, that we, would be made whole. You guys did that, and then some. So that's a big thank you. We had a lot of unexpected things come up this year. Quite a few expensive things that you guys were able to address. We made it work, become one, so I would thank you. So we have that. I also bring some good news. Very quickly into the beginning of the year, sat down with the mayor and the VA, and I advised them that we got selected. Our department was being audited and inspected. I don't know if anyone's familiar with ISO. Basically, it's a classification nationwide. They inspect every fire department, and you basically get a score, a number of essentially how effective you are at doing your job, putting out fires. That's right, our fundamental purpose. When they look at everything, it took me 2 months to pull together training records, maintenance apparatus, equipment, personnel, dispatch, water supply, hydrants. They came through and then they pulled everything. So 1 is the highest rating you can get, 10 is the worst. I think in the state there are 3 class 1s, if I'm not mistaken. I went back 30 years. I went back as far as I could. Since we've been getting these inspections going back to the early 90s. Back in the 90s, we were classified as a class 5 fire department, which isn't horrible. That's the middle. About 15 years later, in the early 2000s, we were reclassified as a class 4 fire department. So we showed improvement, which was nice. We haven't been reevaluated since early 2000s, so we were overdue. But I'm pleased to report back that the fire department has received a class 3 designation. As far as I can tell, any record keeping that has been put forth, this is the highest score. So it's nice to see, all the effort. This goes back, a lot of people put in a lot of effort to make this happen. So I just wanted to bring that forward. When we come forward and after new equipment, trucks, training, it's nice to see that there is some, tangible and measurable benefit to that. So to the public, what that does when you go for your homeowner's insurance, this score is what the insurance companies look at when they evaluate your homes for your homeowner's insurance. So hopefully they reflect that in your premiums, that you can expect hopefully some reduction in your homeowner's insurance. So So.
Do we have to send you the difference?
Put it towards Wildwood, you know. Revalue. So I just wanted to bring that forward.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And the cake, fundraising for the fun cake.
You speak on the mic, it's fine. Hey, you can hear.
I heard.
Was about from 304 Brunswick Avenue. I'm not a big mathematician or anything like that, but I know when I pay bills. My house or any money someone sends me or gives me, I have a question about this. If you're, and this cyber stuff goes on all the time, we know that. If you're paying a bill, was that bill or that amount of money, was that sent in a lump sum or was it different checks to these people, to the Board of Education? Because a suggestion could be, I heard that supposedly or a rumor that when they did it, was there a discrepancy on a weekend? Well, here's the answer. Don't do it near weekends. Make your payments in the middle of the week. And I believe Joe Schwartz said it, if you're on the phone, why don't they call the Board of Education? Okay, at 10 o'clock on Tuesday, we're gonna email or do what we do to you, and you call me back when it's in your account. How long did this go before they, oh geez, the money's not there? Anybody?
I'm not gonna be able to answer that, so I'm getting into details.
Well, it's just a thought now. Is this something we should adopt? And even in the borough of everything we pay here, could be an idea that when you do that, instruct the people doing this to make a phone call and make sure the other person on the other line knows, call me back as soon as it's in your account. This time to be catching these people much earlier.
We've made some changes. We've also brought in, as the board did, outside people to look at our systems and processes. As that information becomes available to us, we'll make further change. So I appreciate what you're saying. We're looking at everything to see how we can do better.
Okay, and now on this item that you're tabling about parking on grass, can we talk about that?
Sure.
Okay, well, I have a phone full of pictures that I went around this afternoon after I heard about this in Soul Borough, and I didn't go everywhere. Within 15 minutes, my phone's loaded. So it seems to me the way this thing is written up, I guess you're a person that's into nature and motorhomes and stuff, you're gonna be allowed to park stuff on your grass?
We tabled the measure to take a relook at it. Figure out exactly, because some concerns were raised about RVs and boats.
Well, there's also many
We're in
guys
the
that.
process of looking at it to try and address that, make sure we tighten it up. The origin was our zoning officer and our code officer came to us and said, we've got issues at certain locations. We've gotten complaints. We don't have the teeth in the code to address those laws. So this is an attempt to give them the wherewithal to do a better job of enforcing the code.
I park 2 of my vehicles on the grass by my house because the town took my parking in front of my house, and on the side of my house. And 2 years ago, when I parked by my neighbor's house, which the police told me was legal, I ended up getting $2,000 worth of damage on the back of my van. So I have a neighbor over there that didn't like the fact that my van was parked over there, which the police told him it's legal and he can park it. And I believe this might have something to do with this whole thing. He's not a Spotswood resident, he's an East Brunswick resident. So I just want you to consider this. In my event, because I'm gonna put it down another driveway in, because if it can't be on grass, I'm gonna put a driveway, because I have vehicles, I can't fit, I'm putting on the side. So I hope you will consider that. And then I spoke to you earlier in the evening about the truck traffic is how it's ever been. It's running up and down Old Stage Road all day long, every day, Brunswick Avenue. Today I was going around getting pictures of all these vehicles and stuff on lawns and everything else. And there's a tractor from a tractor trailer down off of 4th Street, which is when you make the left at the end of that, it's a dead end cul-de-sac. New York plates, I have plates with me, the number, I have a picture of the truck. Parked in front of a big house down the end there, at the end of the street. He drove the truck in there last night. I watched it go down the road. I didn't have anything I could go follow to see where he was going, because I knew he was going to a house. I knew it was time of the day. So I will pass that on to you. And then I believe I mentioned this also about handicap parking in, not only in this area of the town, but especially down in Hat Bay. We're in that place all the time in the morning. These DoorDash people and all these people that make their money think that they can pull into that handicap spot or spots, tie stuff up and go. Now, the police are there, and they're there a lot of times. They will tell them, get it out. But that's, I don't believe I ever saw anybody get a ticket. So the other day, he had a kid pull up with a brand new car, blocked 2 spots completely sideways. Came in, ordered his food, he thought he had it made. Well, I opened my mouth to him. He went off berserk, so pumped. So I got 3 witnesses, one other guy, gentleman was right there. Heard the whole thing, I have the plate number also, and I finally took a picture. We were berserk when I took a picture, because they all like to be on media. But when I told, well, you're part of the handicap, blocking handicap people from getting in there. So I'll pass that on to you too. I'd like you to do something about it, maybe even alarm them. Because you know, half of them, you see them, if you really watch them, they're not handicapped. Some of them just have, their grandmother who has the handicap, and they're using it because, well, I can pull up here and do what I want. And there are DoorDash guys down, and they actually park at the far side of the parking lot, and they hang around and wait for them to get the call, they hold their car and do what they should be doing. So that parking lot's a problem with that. We've seen numbers of people who couldn't get in the place that were really handicapped. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Anyone else? Make a motion.
I just have a question. When are we gonna be discussing that ordinance that you tabled? Are we not doing the public hearing on December 15th now because you tabled it?
It would have to be reintroduced on December 15th.
Thank you.
Tim, anybody online? No. Make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Before we do adjourn, I just wanted to mention, our next meeting is December 15th, so the menorah lighting is December 14th. So the tree lighting December 6th and menorah lighting December 14th. Just wanted to get that out there. Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.